I get asked a lot about my schedule and how I manage everything that I seem to do. And I have to be perfectly honest, it's not perfect. So I don't want to put that off like you think, oh, she's got it all together. But there is one strategy that I come back to again and again. And I'm just going to take a couple minutes and explain to you something that I call days by design. And essentially, I started this early on in my career when I realized that I really couldn't do everything in a single day. So my husband and I, when we first got into real estate, we were also full-time foster parents. And as a foster parent, you have to do a lot of meetings, right? We had meetings with our caseworkers, and we had multiple kids, so we had multiple caseworkers. We had meetings with our caseworker and their caseworker, and then we had visitations, and then the state wanted to come to our house. Needless to say, there were lots of demands on our schedule, and we're real estate agents. We're all over the place. And at one point in time, my coach said to us, because we kind of told them, hey, we didn't get our homework done. We worked really hard, but it didn't get done because we had all these meetings. And our coach said, well, have you ever tried just seeing if you could schedule all of those meetings on a single day? And that was the first time that Meryl and I, we kind of looked at each other and like a light went off in our head, and we're like, oh my gosh, let's try that. And so we did. We started telling them, hey, you can come, but we only can do Mondays between X and Y time. And it was typically like in the afternoon. So, we would grab the kids from school and from daycare and then come home, and anybody who needed to come could come. And we started just picking a day. At the time it was Monday. We started picking Mondays. Monday afternoons was the day that we did all of our foster care meetings. And it worked so well. It became, Monday was foster care afternoon, and that was kind of when we took care of everything. It worked so well that we started doing it for other things that, maybe you plan in ahead, like dentist appointments. We said, let's go ahead and start doing all of our dentist appointments on Wednesday mornings. So that's typically something you do a couple times a year, and it's typically planned out. We started saying, what if we took Wednesday mornings and we scheduled all of our personal things? So we weren't having to do personal things throughout the entire week. We were just doing them Wednesday mornings, and we could start to plan things, right? Got to take your dog to the groomer? Wednesday morning. Got to go to the dentist appointment? Wednesday morning. Basically anything that we could schedule in advance that was for our personal life, we started putting it in that day and that time slot. And that became the framework for our days by design. Eventually it bled over into some of our prospecting, like open houses. We picked times that we were doing open houses, and we kind of knew around our kids' schedule. So Thursday afternoons became our open house day. And then we needed to work our database and call our past clients and all those kind of things. And that became, for me, Fridays. So now pretty much every Friday I have a block or a day by design that I'm specifically working on my past clients in my sphere. So here's my challenge to you. Identify a day during the week, an afternoon or a morning, that you can start to plan ahead anything that you can schedule, right? Got to get your hair done. Pick a day and a time. And then what will happen is over the course of the next couple months, you'll start to see that your schedule will become more consistent and predictable because you won't have one-off appointments every single week where you're doing something else. If you can stick to a day by design as much as possible, you'll start to be able to have confidence in your scheduling because every typical Wednesday morning, you're going to be working on those personal things. And every Friday, between 2 and 3, you're going to be working on your database. So I encourage you to look at your schedule, get creative, and start planning days by design.